Welcome to Book Date with You, the platform where we recommend the best book to you. Today is episode 128, and today Joyce is going to introduce this book to you. You Happier by Dr. Daniel Amen. And who is Dr. Daniel Amen? He has helped millions of people to change their brains and life. So he's the founder of Amen Clinics with 10 locations across the United States, 12-time New York Times best-selling authors, and of course the co-host of the Brain Warriors Way podcast, which he created with his wife Tana. He has produced 16 national public television specials about the brain that has aired more than 130,000 times across North America. Dr. Amen believed that we can end mental illness by creating a revolution in brain health. And he regularly speaks to businesses, organizations, and churches about how to have a better brain, which lead to a better life. So let's dive into it.
Yeah, this, you know, so many years, one thing I really obsessed with is about brain optimization. So definitely, I continue to read more and more books about how to optimize my brain, definitely including how to be happier, right? So this book, the subtitle is called The Seven Neuroscience Secrets of Feeling Good Based on Your Brain Type. So this book, look at this. Dr. Daniel Amen separated it to the basic five brain types. So he emphasizes one thing that the happiness is not one size fits all answer. All right. Each person has a unique brain type. And then understanding your type is actually the key to designing that right happiness habits for yourself. Based on the brain imaging work, Dr. Amen outlines we have five primary brain types. First is about the balanced brain. So the balanced brain, if you have the characteristic like calm, flexible, emotional stable, that you thrive on routine and healthy habits, that is a balanced brain type. So if you have the characteristic like fun seeking, energetic, and novelty driven, you need stimulation and variety to feel happy, that you have a spontaneous brain type. So the third one is called persistent brain, that you focus, goal oriented, sometimes rigid, and you find happiness through purpose and achievement, but may struggle with letting go of worries. The fourth is sensitive brain. Let me explain this one, then we shall have a continue conversation about that. So sensitive brain type, that you have the characteristic of empathetic, intuitive, and emotionally deep. Connection, beauty, and meaningful relationships fuel your happiness. Cautious brain, that you are careful, safety seeking, and prone to anxiety. You feel happiest when you feel safe, prepared, and supported. So if I were to put myself, because these five basic primary brain type, we actually can mix it. You can have like cautious brain and balanced brain together. It doesn't mean that you must have just one type of brain. So if you ask me to categorize myself, I will put myself into a persistent brain and a spontaneous brain together. Persistent, spontaneous brain. So I want to ask Gideon, what do you think? What type of brain you have? What type of?
I think I also is a mixture. So I think my basics foundation is that persistent brain.
Mm-hmm.
We are all like purpose driven,
Focus.
goal driven, purpose of life and one achievement. So we are persistent brain. And for me, I on top of it, I have maybe more sensitive brain.
Mm.
So because I'm a sensitive person and like connection emotional with others.
Yeah. Yeah. Right before our recording for this session, Gideon actually mentioned, it looks like every time we also have some. I personally feel like yes. Me too. Each of the category of this brain, sometimes I do feel like I have some, characteristic of each of the brain type. So the key takeaway from this is actually the things that one person happy might stress another person out. So happiness becomes sustainable when you tailor your habits and environment to match your brain type. So this is a very important one. So I have one particular, this book is quite a thick one. So there is one particular part is actually mentioned about give your name, oh sorry, give your mind a name. I love it so much because it actually involves giving your internal voice a name that you don't call yourself. You give your mind a name. So if your mind has a different name, then it's different from you. So you have a name. Let's say my name is Joyce, right? So I give myself the mind another name. So it does not associate. This actually create we call what is called psychological self-distancing. So years of research show that distance self-talk. So you actually distance yourself, especially when you have these intrusive thoughts, negative thoughts that you have, actually helping better regulate the emotions, self-control, and also wisdom. This is something I think is so worthwhile to really grab hold on. Distancing ourselves from a negative chatter, we have all this negative chat in your mind, by giving our minds a name or talking to ourselves in the third person can bring more clarity and light and positive change our brain. So Dr. Daniel Amen, he called his mind, another name is called Hermie. Hermie is the first ever pet that he had. Back then is a raccoon. And then he called the name of the raccoon is Hermie. Hermie is a very naughty one. It's a naughty pet. So he actually named his mind as Hermie. For example, if some negative thoughts comes to his mind, he will say, "Thanks for your thought, Hermie. Like very thoughtful of you. Now I am in control, not you." Right. It's like you are taking charge on how you feel, how you want to react or respond, but in fact, do not listen to the negative chatter in your mind. This is something I personally feel like is such a great one to catch it up and learn it. So the bottom line is don't let the negative thoughts to rent free a space in your mind. They do, I mean, we need to tell our brain, our mind, that we are on her or him. So this book, there's one whole chapter, one very thick chapter, talking about the positivity bias training. So there are I would say 9 points that I just would like to highlight 3 points which I feel such a very, very good one, is Dr. Amen teaches that the brain is naturally wired to look for threats, which is like negative bias, which is a survival mechanism. Our brain just want to help us to survive. It will protect us in whatever way. So when it comes to our brain, we can actually shift it. When you have some negative thoughts, we can shift it to the positive one. This shift does not ignore problems but balances your outlook to increase the joy and resilience. So the first point Dr. Daniel mentioned is ANT therapy, ANT, the acronym of automatic negative thoughts. ANT. So this is to train your brain out of the negativity. So there's such a great one I want to highlight is there are 5 questions. When you know that you have such a negative thoughts, when you feel sad, mad, nervous, anxious, out of control, you feel like you take a pause and then challenge yourself with these 5 questions. I just want to tell you, it's so good, these 5 questions. First, ask yourself, is it true? Is it true? Second, Is it absolutely true with 100% certainty? Ask yourself, challenge yourself with this. Third question, how do you feel when you believe that thought? How do you feel? The fourth, how would you feel if you didn't have that thought? How would you feel if you didn't have that thought? Number five, turn that thought around to the opposite. Is there any is there any evidence that the opposite might be true? Turn their thoughts around to the opposite. So I just want to tell you, even I don't use fully the 5 questions. If I just ask one question, is it true? Is it 100% true? It's already so helpful to me. You know, I just want to highlight this because it is helpful to me, and I really hope that it's helpful to you too. And these 5 questions is actually inspired by Brian Katie's. So it's a very simple yet very powerful and profound tools that can shift our reactivity to clarity. Because a lot of time we want to react to things, respond to things, but we don't have real clarity. So these questions is to help you to find the clarity. Okay. So key takeaway, don't believe every thought that you think. Sometimes when you think it's not true. It just
Yeah, I think we
as
mentioned before, right? We have so many thought, like 6,000 or 60,000 thought every day, and then some of the thought, I don't know where I read. I think some of the naturally human will have negative thought,
mm,
automatically, like say, and right, automatically negative thought.
yes,
So we need to, like what you say, question these thoughts. Yeah,
yeah,
with these simple questions,
mm,
and it's quite easy, right? To is it true?
yes.
100% true.
I think the first 2 question enough already for me. I mean, a lot of time when I reach to the second question, I already can stop all the negative thoughts. I do not need to continue to the third, to the fourth, because lives there are a lot of up and downs. Just right before our recording, I nearly banged to a dog this morning. And then I accidentally misplaced my purse at one of the stall. And then my car get punctured. Things can go wrong in any way, you know? So we can always find back our clarity. Second point I want to bring is positivity anchor. Start your day right. Okay. So, one of the very most powerful habits that building your positivity bias is to start each morning by saying, today is going to be a great day. This is such a my practice along this journey. Right before I read this book, already have similar practice. And after I read this book, 100% sure that I want to practice this every single morning. Like to tell yourself, today is going to be a great day. So this is such a simple tools that you can start your day in a very, very different way. Even though sometimes you might find so simple. Yes, it is so simple. And it works. It just works, right? So because why? Why it works? Science tell us this. Where you bring your attention determines how you feel. Where you bring your attention determines how you feel. So just like, you know, I want to bring back to what happened to me this morning. So it's like a very, I tell myself this is going to be a great day. But end up like I step out from the house, I got my purse misplaced from somewhere and nearly banged a dog. To you, you may think that, huh? Is it a good day? To me, I find some blessing in disguise. In a way, like I never banged to a dog. I managed to pull my emergency brake, and then I'm grateful that no car at the back that banged me. And I'm so grateful that I found back my purse that I misplaced at the store. So bad things happen, but end up, I bless. I feel so blessed. All right. So this is such a small act that you tell yourself in the morning that really can bring you, you know, um, to be more grounded when you face any challenges in your life. So the last one I want to share is when you say start your day right with asking, telling yourself that today is going to be a great day, and end your day in another question is what went well today? What went well today? Looks simple, right? Before your bed, just ask yourself this question. It's like what went well? It might be something very big or small, or just a good conversation, like you are at the moment of your peace. So this is very important. This simple practice trains your brain to review the good, to improve your sleep, and builds the lasting optimism. So when you fall asleep happier, you wake up ready to face the day with some positivity, but with some good vibes, with a positive vibes. That is what you want. So that is very, very important. And definitely Dr. Amen highlight about this again and again. Happiness is trainable and definitely is very intentional. So it's really, really we want to train ourselves so that we can feel happy. So this is a practice along the journey. It's not just one time you get it. You got to practice, 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 and then you will feel it. I promise you, because I've done that. Anything to add, Gideon, to some of the points that I shared just now?
No, I think it's a very good way to train up your brain for happiness.
Mm.
And some people may feel sarcastic or question this, but do try out first.
Yeah.
Because I think doctor did say that maybe half of the time of your happiness is because of your what happened inside your brain. Of course, there is other factors, but you can control half of your chances to be happy. So why not try the methods that we are
Yes.
suggesting? Of course, other factors are your environment, your DNA, all these things.
Yes. And I forgot to mention about just now when we talk about the five brain types, five primary brain types. Actually, Dr. Daniel Amen has a brain scan, right? He can scan the brain. They call SPECT scan. And then this scan can actually determine which part of the brain of ourself is the prefrontal cortex or the cerebrum, which part of it is actually more active that can categorize us in different brain type. So this is science way to know ourselves even more better, right? So I also feel like yes, one day I want to go there to have my brain
Scan your
scanned.
brain.
It is fun to know more about ourselves, especially the brain. And I always so fascinating and obsessed about brain health and brain optimization. That's why I learned a lot of things about brain. So let us know what is your comment or aha moment or what is the thing that you want to share with us in the comment section below and see you in the next episode.